So, I haven't written in it because I can't, for the life of me, write straight without some kind of guide marks. So, I'm not entirely sure when I'll write in this. At this rate, it may just stay as a display piece because I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever end up actually using it. The paper is actually really nice quality as well. Honestly, I may teach myself how to write in a straight line on blank paper just for this notebook here. Just so I can use it for its intended purpose. I would hate to have it just sit on a shelf unfulfilled. But anyhow, I'll since we're on the topic of DVDs, do you all remember the screen, the black screen, if you let a movie sit for too long, where the DVD player logo would bounce around the screen? I remember falling asleep to Rapunzel in it. I just blabbed for like 10 minutes straight about that movie, and I had the title wrong the whole time. That's terrible. Wow. I knew something sounded wrong. I was thinking about it. I was like, Rapunzel doesn't quite seem correct for some reason. Now I remember why. I feel like most folks would edit something like that out, but I'm keeping it in. It's fine. Another really good movie that I've actually only seen a single time in my entire life, but love to this day. And this is the right title this time, I promise. Is Big Hero 6. I also went to go see that in theaters when it had first come out, and that's a great movie. I love that movie. You know what? I think I'm going to watch it again sometime this weekend. Because, yeah, I swear I watched it once in the theater, and I think that's it. I don't think I've watched it any other time. is a